Welcome guys to the Meet Damien live stream. Today's video, we're going to be looking at the price of Bitcoin and do like a year-end review on the price. We're going to look at the yearly candle, which I already got showing right now. We'll look at maybe the 3-month quarterly candle as well that's closing. Bitcoin price, we're about to be over with 2025 here in about 3 more hours as this candle closes. It's about to come to an end here, and then about 3 hours from now it's going to be 2026 and we start a new candle here on the yearly chart for Bitcoin and a lot of these other cryptocurrencies out here. We'll be doing requests as well. I'll be looking at some other cryptos, and I'm trying to keep the live stream relatively short because I do have some festivities I want to do for New Year's here. So put in those requests now if you got them. I see that DZ already put in his requests. I'll get to that, DZ, but we're gonna first start off here with Bitcoin here on the yearly time frame. Good to get some perspective as to what the market is doing with Bitcoin, especially with the 12-month or the yearly candle here. And that is a very nasty red candle here. It's a doji candle, okay, where we have almost as much price action to the upside as we did to the downside. And it's just god awful. Bitcoin's about to finish the year down 6% all throughout 2025. I mean, we have seen Bitcoin go up to $125,000, $126,000. This is data coming off of Binance Exchange here. It says that Bitcoin topped out at 125,700 here on Binance. I think Coinbase got up to like 126,200. But we're clearly below that. We took a nice brutal beating over the last couple of months here. And the way this candle usually goes, you know, the follow through should be to the downside. So I'm expecting a bad 2026 for crypto. Now we might get like a relief rally in January. I've already talked about this in my live stream yesterday, where we might get a relief rally that pushes Bitcoin back up to 100K and people get all excited again. But unless we go up to like 116K here, I'm not going to be excited about Bitcoin being in a bull market again until it gets up to 116K. I see Shafi's in the live chat here on TikTok. Thank you, Shafi. Happy New Year's to you as well. Happy New Year's to you guys as well. Hopefully you guys have a good trading plan or investment strategy for cryptocurrency in 2026. If you're of the belief of the 4-year cycle, then usually, you know, about 2 years after the halving is when we get the bear market in crypto. And the halving was in 2024, so 2026, according to the 4-year cycle, guys, is going to be a bad year for crypto, which could be good for those who are trying to buy in at cheaper prices here. Let me turn the volume down a little bit here on my end. I feel like the music got a little bit too loud there. Let me just turn down just a little bit more because it's a little bit too much. I want to make sure you guys can actually hear me. All right, but yeah. The 4-year cycle bros are going to be saying that, you know, get out now because it's only going to get worse in 2026. And I think we've already seen the beating that we might be getting here with Bitcoin. There might be a little bit of a relief rally in January, in my opinion here. And it's going to feel like, you know, the super cycle guys, the guys who think we're in a super cycle, will be like, oh, this is just a correction. And Bitcoin's going to be going up to higher prices here. But I'll tell you what, guys, you know, let's look at the crypto bubbles here. Does this feel like a correction? When you got the majority of cryptocurrencies, you got Trump coin down 83%, you got Jupiter down 76%, you got VeChain down 76%, Stacks down 83%, Render down 80%, and this is for the year. The only cryptos that have done well is like Zcash, Monero, AB, okay, and then gold. XAUT, okay, XAUT had decent, and it's like the only green candles, the only green bubbles here is like gold, PaxG gold, and XAUT gold, okay, and then Zcash and Monero are like the privacy coins. Is just the whales are trying to hide their tracks, so that way when they sell their Bitcoin, they don't have to pay taxes. So they're going into security, they're going into like these privacy coins. That way they can hide their paper trail when they go into like other cryptocurrencies, like Tether and other wallets. But they want to hide and erase the paper trail by going into Zcash and going into Monero. Those are the only ones that are doing well this year. Other than that, it's been a bloodbath for 2025. Okay, and the crazy thing is, like, I know some people might think, like, you know, oh well, it's a bloodbath, you know, buy the dip, buy the blood. But there could be more blood. Like, some of these cryptocurrencies are down 70%, and they could probably go down another 70%. Just keep that in mind. Okay, I've seen it happen before. And I'm just trying to keep it a little bit real with you guys. I know there's some other influencers out there that don't want to speak the truth, but I'll speak the truth to you guys because I don't want to see you guys get hurt too bad out there. All right? Because, you know, if you're of the belief of a super cycle and that this is just a correction, then I hope you got your stop loss really tight, because if you're wrong, then you could be wrong by a lot. And we could lose another 70% here on cryptocurrencies here. So I know it's kind of crazy that some of these cryptos are down 70% and that they could, you know, how crazy could it be that they could go down another 70%, but I have seen it happen before. All right, let's go into the 3-month quarterly candle here. Oh no. Guys, I got a potential phone call I gotta take here real quick. Let me just see what's going on here. Hello?
Hi, it's John.
Hey John, hold on a second. I gotta put you on speaker here real quick. I gotta mute the volume here. All right, I'm back with you guys. I had to take a phone call there for my one of my renters that's renting one of my cars here. So I'm, you know, doing my business here while also trying to do a live stream here. But I'm back with you guys. Hopefully, I gotta see if my TikTok guys can start joining up here, because you know, when I take the phone call, I end up losing my live stream on TikTok here. But yeah, I had to take a business phone call there for my renter that's trying to rent out one of my cars here. All right, sorry about that, guys. All right, back to the quarterly candle close here. Yeah, I know. Oh, DZ, you said you heard the whole conversation? Jeez, I try to take the mic off. Or are you messing with me? I feel like you're messing with me here.
Here. And I'm just trying to keep it low. Enjoy your cryptocurrencies you got.
Oh man, I gotta see this. You messing with me, DZ. I swear, you're messing with me. Yeah, because I muted the mic there, but anyways, let's get back to the live stream. Sorry about that. I'm glad that got taken care of, because now I can just do the rest of the live stream and not have to worry about any interruptions here. But anyways, we're looking at Bitcoin on the monthly candle close. That's going to be closing in like 3 months here. I mean, not 3 months, 3 hours from now. And this is a very nasty bearish engulfing candle here on the quarterly close for for potential quarterly close here for Bitcoin. And I mean, it could be some more bearish follow through going into the next quarter here. And if we continue dropping down, just moving average wise, we do have a 21 EMA here that's sitting at 53k. So maybe Bitcoin decides to go to 53k. But let me turn the VRVP indicator here. See what's the most likely support zone here if we continue dropping on Bitcoin. We do have a high volume node here at like 58k. 58k could be an area where we get some support. So we got 58k and also 53k on the quarterly time frame with a 21 EMA. There's also some more support here. Is there a ghost here? There's some more support for Bitcoin over at this value area high sitting at 45k. So I'm just giving you like some doomsday targets here, guys. If Bitcoin really gets bearish out here, this is what we could see. We got some support here at 45, 48k, and then also some support here at 58k. Let's see. We have a question here in the chat. Someone says, "What do I think about Decentraland?" I'm trying to remember the ticker symbol for that, but is that mana for Decentraland? Just tell me if that's the ticker symbol. And yeah, Decentraland. What are my thoughts on it? I would have to look at the charts, but I feel like it's probably an old project, and if it's old, here in cryptocurrency world, usually the old projects, they end up dying off unless they got something good going on to keep the excitement going here. Techner Plus says, am I doing futures on Bitcoin? Yeah, I was in a Bitcoin long earlier today. I got stopped out at break even, and I might be interested in buying Bitcoin again if it does go down a little bit further to down like 86,800. Seems to be a good level to get some Bitcoin these past few days. Let's see what else we got here. Time. That just followed me. Thank you for following me here on TikTok, Time. All right, so that's the monthly, the quarterly chart here. Just looks pretty bad. Bearish engulfing candle. We pretty much negated all this positive price action back here in the second quarter and the third quarter. If we continue on, like, we're gonna get rid of what we did here in the second quarter as well. It's just gonna be really bad. All right, let's go look at the weekly time frame, just to get an idea of like what Bitcoin is up to here. Bitcoin for the bullish case, we are getting some support off the 50 moving average right now, the 50 simple moving average on the weekly time frame. If Bitcoin continues to try to be bullish here, then we could get some resistance here at 96k. That's an area where I think it might be good to offload some Bitcoin at that area, or some crypto if it does get up to that area, but it's going to be tougher to get past because that's a pretty significant high volume node here at 96k. Then we got some more volume here at 102k. That's the next bullish case for Bitcoin. If Bitcoin is going to get a relief rally and go up to higher prices here, then we want to see, we probably want to start taking some money off the table here when Bitcoin does get up to 102k, because we just don't know if it's going to get rejected at 102k. Like, we have the 21 EMA on the weekly time frame is sitting at about 103k, and that could be where we get rejected and then come down and make a lower high to then go make a lower lows here. All right, I don't want to be too bearish here, but I gotta call it as I see it. Okay, let's take a look at what the oscillators are showing here on the bottom. I'm getting rid of the VRVP indicator for now. And the oscillators, at least on the MACD, you see selling pressure is dying down here on Bitcoin on the weekly time frame. That's good to see. That's why I think we could get a relief rally. Well, one of the reasons why. On market cipher B, you know, we have money flows in the red. That's not good to see, but I want to see money flows start increasing again on the weekly time frame for me to be a little bit more bullish here on Bitcoin. And then of course, I'm waiting for a green buy dot to show up here on the weekly time frame. Last time we had a green buy dot in the red while we were at, you know, money flow in the red was back here in April. And we know April going into May and June was some pretty good weeks and good months there for Bitcoin. Could we get something like that where we get a repeat of April where we get a green buy dot? Well, first we got to get that green buy dot, and it hasn't showed up yet, but if it does, that would get me more bullish on Bitcoin, okay? But right now I have to stay relatively bearish until Bitcoin proves me otherwise, okay? Let's go into the 3-day. I think the 3-day looks a little bit better, okay? The 3-day, this is giving a little bit of hope for the bulls here, okay? So I'm giving you guys a little bit of hopium for the bulls. On the 3-day chart here for the MACD, you do have a MACD crossover to the upside. Usually when you get that crossover to the upside, you'll start seeing some green candles start showing up here, showing that buying pressure is coming in. And you can see that, yeah, selling pressure has died off, and the green buying pressure candles are starting to show up here. So that's why I think we could get a relief rally in January for Bitcoin. Maybe the sellers will finally give up on selling. Maybe they have nothing left to sell, and then we can finally see a little bit of a relief rally here for Bitcoin. At least that's what the 3-day chart's showing here. And then on market cipher B, you are making some higher lows here on the momentum. You got the green buy dot that came in last Wednesday during Christmas, and then you got money flow is starting to increase. We're getting out of this red here, but I don't know. We got to see this actually turn green for me to be more bullish here on Bitcoin, okay? But it's the start of something good, possibly. It just remains to be seen here. Right now, it's kind of like looking weak here, where, you know, Bitcoin's just trading sideways for the most part, between like 86K and like 90K for the most part, okay? But anyways, I think that's enough for Bitcoin. We can always talk about Bitcoin more in the later on in the live stream if you want, go into smaller time frames. But I think that's enough for now. I do want to get over to the requests here. We got DZ requesting Hyper, and he also wants to look at Sapiens. And let's see. What are my TikTok guys? You guys want to look at some cryptos here? I'm gonna keep this live stream relatively short because I do want to go out for New Year's Eve myself. Okay. But let me know what cryptocurrencies you guys want to take a look at. Besides Bitcoin over here. We already talked about Bitcoin. Let's get into Hyper for DZ over here. Hyper, not Hyper Liquid. I gotta remember that. Not Hyper Liquid. Alright, so what do I want to do here? I want to look at Hyperliquid, Hyperlane, not Hyperliquid. I want to look at Hyper on the daily time frame. On Coinbase, it hasn't really been trading that long on Coinbase. It started trading in December. Let me see if there's another exchange I can get this off of. Let's try BitGet maybe. Alright, a little bit more, yeah, definitely more data here. So we're looking at Hyper. Currently trading below 12 cents at 0.1179 pennies, down 4.9% today. And this thing looks like it's like near the lows for the year. You haven't been this low. Well, I mean, you've been this low before, but just recently here on December 18th, and then here on December 1st, and then you got that really bad, you know, liquidity grab here on October 10th, where we came down to like 7 cents. Hyper, looking very bearish. Let's call it what it is, okay? 21 EMA is acting as resistance. Sometimes you do get above the 21 EMA. This white line here is the 21 exponential moving average. but you don't stay there for too long before you end up losing it. Okay, so I want to see Hyper get above this 21 EMA, sitting at like 0.129 pennies here, about a penny above you. And then I want to see it start using it as support instead of resistance, because look at this. This has been resistance, 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 resistance. The 21 EMA has been like a bully pushing Hyper down every time it tries to get above it. Alright. So, I don't know. This thing looks like it's continuing to bleed off. You have this crazy green candle here in July. I don't know what that's all about. Maybe that was after the stablecoin bill got passed. But even then, like, Hyper was looking like garbage back here in April. Like, it was still going down. And the 21 EMA was acting as resistance. I don't know why you're interested in this coin here, unless you're trying to short it. Because that seems to be the only way to actually make money, is to short Hyper. Right? And what I would do to try to enter a short entry on Hyper, I would try to get in when it gets to the 21 EMA. That's the time to short it, because you know it's not going to stay at the 21 EMA too long before it goes down to lower prices here. So I don't know. I mean, I'm going to try to build up a bullish case if there is one. Let's see what the MACD is showing here on the daily time frame. I think we talked about this yesterday, but yeah, the MACD, you got the crossover to the downside, but then you got a crossover to the upside, and you know, because you got a crossover to the upside, that's why you were able to get some of these green candles showing up here on the MACD, showing that there is some buying pressure, but it's kind of weak. It's not as strong as it was earlier this year. I mean, I think this one's on its way down to lower prices, to be honest with you. Just another weak counter trend rally that's gonna get destroyed by the overall bear market here. Market cipher B showing that money flow is starting to increase, but then it could start decreasing out of nowhere. Just because it's increasing doesn't mean that it's actually going to go green here. You did go green back in the middle of December here for a little bit. But I mean, did I really do anything? You went green back in the middle of December, and that was it. When you did go green, you were actually able to get above the 21 EMA and stay above it for a little bit, but then you lost it, okay? Does that make sense there? So you had this little bit of green here in the middle of December. You got above the 21 EMA, and then that was it. Very disappointing. Very discouraging, in my opinion. I think I'm done making myself depressed here. Let's look at another cryptocurrency. You want to look at Sapien? All right, we can take a look at Sapien. We looked at Dog and Me yesterday. Let's try something new for today. Let's look at Sapien. I like that one. I see MMA Esquire is in the chat. Good to see you, MMA Esquire. You are posting any new content, MMA Esquire, on your TikTok channel? I'm just curious. Thank you for hitting that like button there. Sapien currently trading at 13 cents, up 5.8% today. What do we got going on here? Doesn't seem as violent and as crazy as Hyper. Maybe there might be more of a bullish case here for Sapien than there was Hyper. What I like here, just looking at Sapien, is you made a higher low compared to what you did here in December 1st. So that's the start of something. That's the start of trying to be bullish here. It's not like a continuing, you know, slide down to lower prices like you saw with Hyper here. So this is a little bit more promising, okay, to see this. And then what the hell happened here with Sapien today? You want to tell me? DZ, because it looks like you climbed up to like 16 cents here. Got rejected. Why did you get rejected? Let's see if there's anything going on in the 4-hour time frame with the moving averages. I don't see anything there. Let me get back to the daily time frame. Maybe it might just be a VRVP level. Okay, let's go ahead and turn on the VRVP indicator here. And for Sapien, I mean, there is some high volume here at like 16 cents, so that's probably why it got rejected. Whoever bought here at 16 cents in the beginning of December, They probably clicked the sell button just to break even at 16 cents here. So I think that's what happened here with Sapien, in my opinion. I don't know. I could be wrong, but I'm thinking that's the story that I'm going to stick to here, is that Sapien got rejected when it got up to this high volume area here on the VRVP indicator. Now you do got some high volume here as well below you, kind of like where you're at, where you got the POC, the point of control. That blue line is sitting at 12 cents. I think that is a good support area for Sapien. I would try to buy some if I can at that area if you're inclined to do so, and then put the stop loss maybe below the WEEX here on Tuesday, where it did go down to 12 cents. So yeah, if you go down to like 12.5 cents where that blue line's at, maybe you put the stop loss at 12 cents. Or if you want to be a little bit looser on the stop loss, you can put the stop loss below the candle wick here on Christmas Eve here, where we got down to like 11 cents. And that's also where the value area low is. And so you would think, like, if we do come down, we should get a bounce off of 11 cents. So maybe stop loss at like 10.5 cents. Not financial advice, but if you're gonna long this asset, that's what I would try to do here. Let's see what the momentum indicators here are saying, the oscillators. On the daily time frame here, you got money flow is increasing. It hasn't gone green yet. It looks like it's about to go green. So Sapien looking a lot better than Hyper, in my opinion. Okay. And then you got that green buy down here on December 26th. Momentum's coming up. So I think Sapien definitely looks a lot better than Hyper. That other coin you tried to give me there. And then here on the MACD, did get a MACD crossover to the upside on Christmas Day here. And so far, you got the green buying pressure candle showing up here. So yeah, you're good for now on the MACD on the daily time frame. Definitely a lot better of a choice here than, you know, trying to get into Hyper. Especially if you're trying to long and do a swing trade and try to make some money with spot positions here. I think this thing looks good and ready to go to higher prices, in my opinion. This could be doing pretty well if we do get that cryptocurrency rally in January, like I think we might be getting here. That little bit of a relief rally. All right. All right. DZ is still keeping me busy with the requests. I'm trying to see if there's any other requests. If not, then I guess we'll take a look at Dog and Me. Dog and Me would be another meme coin cryptocurrency that we could take a look at. Let's see. Somebody here says you can't find the WRP indicator that you. All right, so that's actually the VRVP indicator is what you're looking for. So that VRVP indicator, if you go in the trading view and you go to indicators here, you type in VRVP and it should show up. It's going to be the visual range volume profile indicator. Make sure you click the favorite button to add it to your favorites here. And you can see that, yeah, that is one of my favorite indicators that I like. Okay, so the VRVP, the visual range volume profile indicator is what you're looking for. Mario is asking for pump coin. Uh-oh, DZ. We're getting some other requests here. I might have to look at Dog and Me later. I've already done 2 requests for you, so, you know. That third one, Dog and Me, I'll do that after we go at these other 2 coins here. So Duke wants to look at ZBEC. And then Mario wants to look at Pump. Pump.fun, I'm assuming. Yeah. Alright. So we'll look at ZBEC and then we'll look at Pump and then I'll look at Dog and Me, okay? Alrighty. Let's keep it going here. ZBEC. Alright, let me get rid of the VRVP indicator for now. And we're now looking at ZBEC, currently trading at, we're just going to call this 24,086. ZBEC has been having a god-awful year, just like all the other cryptocurrencies out here. I think 2025 was just like the bear market, but it could extend going into 2026 for a lot of these altcoins here. But yeah, ZBEC had its best days back here in May, where we got up to like 71,000. Was that the high water mark? Has that been the highest it's ever been? Yeah. All right, so ZBEC already had its like all-time high back here in May of 2025, and then it's just been making lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, and of course making lower lows. And you're near the lowest point of the year, like the lows for the year. We saw ZBEC get down to like 23,000 back here in July 6th, around like 4th of July. And I mean, I highlighted that, you know, ZBEC was trying to make a higher low here compared to what it did here in November. November 21st was like one of the lowest lows. We got down to like 21,477. And then here on December 16th, we got up down to like 23,128. Did we go lower than that? 23,031, 23,360, 23,031. Yeah, we actually made a lower low compared to what? So that's like, you know, this is like garbage. Like, this is like, why can't you continue making higher lows here? Right, we just violated this potential higher low here. So now I have to do it like this. I have to redraw the potential uptrend, if you even want to call it an uptrend. It's not even an uptrend, and it doesn't really look like an uptrend. If we keep going down lower, then we're just going to end up probably making a double bottom maybe. But right now, you got the higher low case still. But that was, ugh. I feel bad for whoever bought here thinking that they were buying the lows. Then they saw this price go up, only for them to come back down to basically where we started and go below where we started here. But you know, the cool thing about this is that if this thing doesn't go any lower, this could end up being a double bottom here. And if this is a double bottom, then you just measure between where the two bottoms are at, like right over here to the top and between the two bottoms. And you take this measured move, you put on top of the top in between the two bottoms here, and it gives you a measured move on ZBEC, where ZBEC could see 41,943. I'm not sure if it's going to do that, but it's an idea here. If this is going to end up being a double bottom, that could be your target, right? 41,000, which I'm not sure if it's actually going to get up there. Non-financial advice, it might, or it might not, okay? But more than likely, it will probably get rejected from these moving averages above you at the 200-day and 100-day moving average, sitting at like 37,000, roughly, yeah, 37,000. And this 37,000 is a level that I highlighted before, because this is a pretty important level. I think I've seen it on the VRVP indicator here, but it's also a level where we have some candle wick closes, some candle body closes at this area for both, you know, support, and also resistance. So I think 37,000 is going to be the level to look out for. Let me see if I'll just turn on that BRVP indicator to see if it agrees with me on that. The VRVP indicator is showing that the point of control is at 41,000. Okay. All right. So yeah, maybe 41,000 is an area to think about taking profit on your ZBEC, but also 37,000 could be another area as well, because there is still relatively high volume over here, and then you got the moving averages saying that, you know, they might send the price lower if it does get up to that area. So I think anywhere between like 37,000 and 41,000 is an area to try to sell your swing trade long on ZBEC if you're gonna try to stick around to see if it actually gets up to that price there. Let's see what downside targets might be for ZBEC here. On the downside, using the VRVP indicator here, You got some support here at 18,600. If ZBEC continues being bearish and goes to lower prices here, you got a gap in the VRVP, so this thing could happen really fast where it just drops all the way down to like 18,000 before it gets some support. And this 18,000 area is a pretty important area because of the VRVP indicator, but also you can see it here. Even if you're not using the VRVP indicator, you can see that there's some sideways trading action at 18,000. So the people that bought here are not going to click the sell button unless we go lower than 18,000. And then, yeah, they're going to start sweating bullets and actually sell. But I think, you know, they'll be at break even, and they're not going to hit the sell button on ZBEC unless it loses 18,000. Was he able to see that? Yeah, right over here, guys. So 18,000 is your next support level for ZBEC. Wes says ZBEC is going to go down to 11,000. Going back to 11,000. Let's see. Mugcow is asking for Bitcoin, and he has spammed the chat. We already looked at Bitcoin earlier. I'll take a look at Bitcoin real quick here for like a summary analysis here. Let's get into the daily time frame, and let me give her the VRVP indicator for now. Oh man, I didn't need that yet. But these are the levels that I'm looking for Bitcoin. Okay. You got a support area, a very strong support area at 86,800. I highlighted that with this red line here. If we lose 86,800, we could come down to 84,500. Okay, that's another support area for Bitcoin. Okay, if Bitcoin is actually going to become bullish and not actually drop down to lower prices here, then we do have resistance at us at 90,400, 90,500, and then we had some more resistance at 91,400. If Bitcoin can push past 91,400, then I'm eyeballing 96K using the VRVP indicator here. And if I turn that on real quick here, you'll see that there's a high volume here at 96K for Bitcoin, that blue line right there. Okay, so that's your upside target if we can get past 91K. All right, and that's Bitcoin in a nutshell. Let's get over to the other requests here. We'll take a look at pump.fun. And pump.fun currently trading at we're just gonna call this 1923, up 4.4% today. And what do we got? So this thing has been in a downtrend ever since the middle of September. Middle of September was the highest high water mark was at 89,099. This thing's been making lower highs, and of course lower lows in a downtrend here. How much further could it go down? I mean, we're near the lowest lows of the year for pump.fun. We've already seen this thing come down to like 1675. What I'm gonna try to do, a Fibonacci here to figure out what levels there might be to the downside, measuring from this swing low to this swing high, okay, to figure out how much lower it could go, if that's one of the questions on your mind right now. I mean, it's one of the questions on my mind, so let's just get an idea here. So from swing low to swing high, you actually already came down to the 1618 at 1865. That was a target here to the downside. If pump.fun continues being bearish some more, there's a 2618 that says this thing could come down to like 920. That purple area right there. Okay, so yeah, that's you know, an idea as to like a possibility where pump.fun could come down to that level. Now that's the bearish case for pump.fun. The bullish case, right? If we're gonna be bullish here on pump.fun, I want to see this thing get above the 21 EMA, this white line, because every time you come up to the 21 EMA, you get rejected, right? Come up to it, you get rejected. You actually came up above it this time back here in October, but then you still lost it. Okay, so the 21 EMA is going to act as resistance until it starts acting as support, and that 21 EMA is sitting at $2.90. 2,097. Okay. So get above there and stay above there, and then we can start becoming more bullish here on Pump.Fun. Okay. Let's see. Let's look at the oscillators to see if it is trying to be bullish here. On market site for B indicator here, you got a green buy dot here on Christmas Eve, December 24th, and the momentum's going up to the upside, and money flow is going up to the upside. So maybe it wants to be bullish going into January. And let's see what the MACD is doing here. MACD is, you got your MACD crossover to the upside, so that's really good to see. Usually when you see that, you'll start seeing green buying candles showing up here, buying pressure candles, and you did get that. Looks like the crossover happened on the 28th of December, and then the last few days here have been, you know, good for Pump.Fun. So keep doing that, and you'll start seeing some more higher prices here for Pump.Fun. Alright, keep doing that. But I think, you know, upside targets for now is just 2,097 for now, where the 21 EMA could push you back down again. And if it doesn't, then let's see what the VRVP indicator is going to show for some levels to look out for. You got a value area low at 2590. That could be an area where you can take some profit on your Pump.Fun. And if you get past 2590 and also 2900, then you got a gap in the VRVP indicator, and then there could be some more volume here at 3500. Could be where you get some resistance for Pump.Fun. And of course, you got the point of control, the POC, this blue line sitting at 3940. And basically, you're going to be selling where everybody that thought they were buying the dip here on Pump.Fun back in October here, they're all going to be trying to sell at 3940 as well, just to break even, because they probably did not expect this thing to continue dropping like a rock like it did. Okay, but yeah, that's what I'm looking at here for Pump.Fun. I see Laureen's in the chat. Good to see you pop up in the chat here, Laureen. You say, yeah, you can only stay for a couple of minutes, but you'll catch me later on YouTube. Appreciate that. Yeah, definitely. When you go on YouTube, I need that, because I'm trying to get the watch hours up on YouTube so I can get that channel monetized. So the more you watch on YouTube, the better. I actually would prefer you to watch on YouTube versus TikTok here. But you know, now I'm pretty sure TikTok's gonna get mad at me and they're gonna restrict my live stream for saying that. But yeah, I do both YouTube and TikTok, and you know what? I think TikTok should just get over the fact that there's other there's other platforms out there besides them. So yeah, you guys can find me on YouTube or TikTok. And of course for my my TikTok guys, let's see if I can find that here real quick. You can find me here on TikTok. Let's see if I can get up to like 6,000 followers. So if you guys can click that follow button, I appreciate that. You can also find the Discord channel here. It's free to join. And then you know, I do have a link here if you want to start trading futures or trading, you know, spot on one of these cryptocurrency exchanges. I have a link to join WEEX exchange. They got some pretty good bonuses for new users here, and you use that code right there, XVDP, to get those bonuses. Okay, when you sign up for WEEX. But yeah, you got that link right there. And then for my YouTube guys, let's see. Let me go ahead and type in YouTube here. Let's see. View my channel. Yeah, there I am on YouTube. You can watch, if you want to rewatch the live streams here, you can watch the replays here on the live streams. Okay, I got a bunch of live streams for you guys to look at here. I also got a bunch of shorts as well. If you don't got that much time, you can look at the YouTube shorts that I posted up. And then I also got some tutorial videos. If you guys, I know the VRVP indicator is a very interesting indicator that people keep asking me about, and I have done a YouTube video about the VRVP indicator here. And I've also done it on TikTok as well. Okay, so if you want to go over to TikTok, my pinned videos here, I got the VRVP indicator pinned. It's one of my most popular videos with 1,900 views here. Okay, so yeah, go ahead and check that out to learn more about the VRVP indicator. Alright, we're gonna get back into looking at cryptocurrencies again here. We're gonna look at Dog and Me for DZ. And guys, let me know how the music is. If it's too loud, I can turn it down. I sometimes worry about that. I just never know if it's too loud or not. It sounds kind of loud on my end, so I actually am going to turn it down a little bit. But I hope you guys are enjoying the music. Alright. Let's see. Dog and Me, currently trading at 1482. I'm going to keep on the VRVP indicator. I think you guys are now starting to understand how I use it and what I'm looking for and how I trade with it. So I like the fact that Dog and Me is near the value area low. It's actually below the value area low. So Dog and Me is actually very undervalued right now, according to the VRVP indicator. And if it does start climbing up, there could be some resistance at that 21 EMA at 1802. Is where the first take profit target I would have for Dog and Me. And then probably second take profit target might be like 2100. You got another high volume node here. And then of course you got the highest volume node. The point of control, that blue line is right over here at 2550. I think that should be where you should try to click the sell button. Not financial advice, but if I was in Dog and Me, I would try to sell at this blue line here at 2550. And you also got this green line, the 50-day moving average, will probably act as resistance at that 2500 level there. So all things keep pointing to 2500, where it's going to be tough for us to get past 2500 for Dog and Me. Okay, so I would try to take profit at that level if I actually had this asset. Okay, and then we'll just revisit. Just ask me about Dog and Me when it does get up to 2500. Then maybe we could start looking at some other levels here to the upside. But I think that's what you get for upside for now, is just 2500. And we'll see how it handles itself when it gets to that level there. Let's see what the oscillators are doing here. See if there's any hopium here on the MACD and market cipher B. So MACD is showing that there is selling pressure still here on Dog and Me, and you haven't really got your MACD crossover on the daily time frame. So Dog and Me, I don't think is ready to go up yet. Okay. I mean, if it starts going up right now, you'll start seeing this blue line curve back up, and then if it gets above the orange line here, then you get your MACD crossover to the upside, and you'll start seeing some higher prices here for Dog and Me. But that hasn't happened yet. Okay, you want to get that MACD crossover. Like, this is the MACD crossover that you should be looking for to the upside, where the blue line crosses the orange line to the upside, and then you'll start seeing green buying candles start showing up on the daily time frame here. Okay. So that's what you're waiting for to try to long Dog and Me, and you'll get probably a nice long, nice little profit if you can just wait for that confirmation signal where the blue line goes above the orange line here. And then let's see, market cipher B, money flow. This red stuff here, it's still red, and it's looks like it's trying to curve up. Maybe you just need to start getting higher prices. You start getting higher prices, and Dog and Me will continue probably to get more higher prices. You did get a bottom signal here on market cipher B, saying that this thing has bottomed out, and you're clearly oversold with the RSI. These are the green horizontal bars, are the oversold horizontal bars, or an RSI indicator here. So you're clearly oversold. You got a bottom signal here. You're just waiting for a green buy out to show you that, yeah, there's actually money going into Dog and Me. And then, of course, you're waiting for the money flow to actually start curving back up, too. So, right now, Dog and Me, you're just patiently waiting for higher prices. Okay? But, I mean, you're patiently waiting after you've already dropped like a rock all throughout the last few months here. Okay? So could this be the lowest low? If we're going to get a January relief rally in Bitcoin and crypto, which I think Bitcoin's trying to do, then yeah, I think Dog and Me might be the lowest price you can get for Dog and Me. Maybe. I don't know. But I don't see how it could get any worse than what it's already at. OG Boban did say that the music is a little bit too loud. Okay, so I'll turn it down some more. And OG Boban said, my thoughts on Vita Inu. I'm gonna go ahead and write that down. I think I'm gonna start taking the last requests here, guys, because I'm gonna try to end the live stream soon. And Laureen, thank you for adding that link to my YouTube here. I'm gonna have to probably make you one of my moderators. Okay, thank you for doing that, Laureen. All right, let's see, and thank you for sending me the roses as well, Laureen. Thank you for that. Young G says, what am I trading? Well, I was trying to long Sui earlier today, but I got knocked out with my stop loss. And I was long Bitcoin earlier this morning before Bitcoin did its drop, and then I got stopped out at break even on Bitcoin. So right now, I am trying to look for longs because we've already had a drop on Bitcoin and crypto here. I'm interested in long in Bitcoin if we come down to 86,800. I don't know if that's going to happen in the next few hours here, because we might have already seen the lows for the day. Looks like around 3 p.m. Eastern time we came down to 87K, so I missed it. Like this is where I probably would have bought Bitcoin when it actually did go down to 87K. It did that like an hour ago. Alright, so I mean, you could long Bitcoin right now and put your stop loss below 87K and try to see if you can ride this thing up to back to 88 or 89K. Okay, but yeah, that's what I'd be looking for Bitcoin. Let's see what else. Who is taking the beating? Oh, silver's taking a beating. I can trade silver on Coinbase Exchange. I have a link in my Discord channel if you guys want to start trading on Coinbase. There are silver futures and gold futures on Coinbase. Let's see, what else do we got here? Oh, Pump.Fund is actually doing pretty well today, up 3.9%. I kind of want to look for longs rather than shorts, because I know, like, you know, after Bitcoin had its beat down, it's probably going to do another climb back up to higher prices again. We've been range bound on Bitcoin, as you all know, for like the last few weeks here. And we've just been bouncing between 86,800 and 90,500. That seems to be the range that we're staying with for Bitcoin here. So I'd be looking for longs on Bitcoin and also other cryptocurrencies as well. Oh, I'm actually in an Ethereum long, but it's like a small position, and I'm trying to ride this up to, like, you know, once I feel like the relief rally in January is coming to an end, which I think we're gonna get a relief rally. Then I'm probably gonna take profit on my Ethereum long as well. But yeah, Ethereum has also been range bound anywhere between like 2,890 to like 3,050. It's just been a really tight range for Ethereum. So not really much going on. They're just trading sideways right now. All right. Lauren A's in the chat. Good to see you, Lauren A. Appreciate you coming in. Happy New Year to you as well. And we're going to look at Vita Inu for one of the requests here. Nasir, you asked me about the VRVP indicator. I actually made a video on TikTok. Go ahead and follow me here on TikTok. And then if you look at my page, right, for TikTok, I'm going to look at it real quick here. But you see, I have done like a 14-minute video here explaining the VRVP indicator, how to set it up, and then how I trade with it. So that video is pinned to the top of my TikTok here. You can go ahead and watch that video on your own time there. All right, Vita Inu. All right, there it is. VINU USDT. What the hell is this? What the? How am I supposed to analyze this thing here? It has like almost no volume. Is there another exchange that it trades on? Okay, MEXC exchange maybe? Alright, a little bit better, but not really. So this crypto, what do I call this? This is like This is like kind of like almost like Shiba Inu or Pepe, where it has like a 0.000 to like 8th place, and then it says 77545. So this thing is less than a tenth of a tenth of a tenth of a penny here. So I'm just gonna call this number 7545, okay, for Vita Inu. And just eyeballing this chart, you're near the lows for the year. You haven't been, you know, this low since July of 2023. You're near multi-year lows on this cryptocurrency. What does the moving averages show here? All the moving averages are above you on Vita Inu. And this thing is just looks like hot garbage. How I would play this is I would be looking for shorts, and I would just try to short this when this thing actually gets up to the 21 EMA. Okay? Because every time you come up to the 21 EMA, you get rejected. 21 EMA, rejected. Right now, the 21 EMA is sitting at 84.74. I would be looking for a short at that area. And then you just put the stop loss, you know, as tight as you need it to be. Alright? But I would be looking for shorts when this thing gets up to the white line, because I don't think it's going to get above the white line. And, you know, it tried doing that here in November. And then, yeah, you know, it actually made it up to the 200 moving average, and then it got rejected. Okay? But if you do see this thing get above the 21 EMA and stay above it, then, yeah, it's probably going to either get rejected at the 50 moving average, the 100, or the 200 moving average. This blue, green, red line here. Okay? And I won't be bullish on this asset until it gets above the 200 moving average, that red line, and stays above it. Right now, you got to get up to like 1366 for this thing to be bullish again, in my opinion. Using my rules, if you're above the 200-day moving average, you're bullish. If you're below the 200-day moving average, you are bearish, okay? Until you can get above the 200-day moving average. Now that would be that red line here, out of these all, you know, squiggly lines here, the moving averages here. That red line, 200-day moving average is going to be a problem until it's not, until it's no longer a problem. So that's my analysis there on Vita Inu. I think, you know, you can just continue shorting this thing until it actually stays above the 21 EMA. 21 EMA at 84.74. You do that, and then you might be doing something different here, and then you'd probably be looking for longs if it can stay above the 21 EMA. Yep, that's my opinion there on Vita Inu. OG Bobin, I think you might be new to the channel here. Appreciate it if you would hit that subscribe button, and you know, if you do that, you hit the notification bell, you'll know when I go live, and we can analyze some more cryptocurrencies here besides Vita Inu. But yeah, thank you for coming into the channel. Don't forget the like button and subscribe if you're new. Alright, and Lorraine just said goodbye. She says she's got to go. And she says Happy New Year to everyone. Nasir says dollar cost average. You think we are at the bottom? The bottom for what? For what asset? I'm afraid. Okay, I'm afraid, guys, of some of these altcoins that have dropped like 70, 80, 90%. I'm afraid that if we are going to go into a bear market in 2026 where Bitcoin goes down to like $30,000 or $40,000 maybe, I'm afraid that a lot of these altcoins that have already been down 70, 80% could probably drop another 70, 80% and just totally destroy a lot of people's hopes and ambitions and their psyche, their psychological, you know, just their psyche, right? I'm worried that could be happening in 2026 here. Now, I think we might get a relief rally in January, and I think that's an opportunity to get out of some cryptocurrencies before things get a lot worse in 2026. But we shall see. I know some people are saying like interest rates and interest rate cuts and QE are going to help the markets, help crypto. But they're talking about not lowering interest rates in the next meeting because they think the economy is doing fine right now, as is. Matter of fact, they had the FOMC meeting minutes come out, I think, yesterday, and they were saying that some of them are okay with cutting interest rates in December, but they think that we should hold and not cut interest rates in January. So if that's the case, then there goes the bullish case about interest rate cuts helping out the markets here. And you know what? We've been having interest rate cuts the last 3 to 4 months now, and that still hasn't helped out these altcoins here. So like that kind of like defeats the case that interest rate cuts are going to help save the markets here. So I'd be a little bit wary. Okay. If Bitcoin drops down, to like 70, 60, 50K, what is that going to do to these altcoins? Do you think the altcoins are going to go up if Bitcoin drops down to like 70, 60, 50K? I would wait until Bitcoin actually goes to like, 60K again for me to start dollar cost averaging into crypto again. I'm actually looking to get out. Matter of fact, we have New Year's Eve today, right? I still have some Solana and Sui that I haven't sold yet. I sold the majority of my cryptocurrencies already over the last few months here. And so far it seems like it's been a good decision because these cryptocurrencies keep going down in price, right? So I've actually sold at higher prices than where we're at right now. And I still got some more to sell, and I might just say Happy New Year's, like when we do the countdown, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, Happy New Year's, right? I might click the sell button on Solana and click the sell button on Sui. All right, maybe I'm being a little bit aggressive, but if you get the idea, like the only reason why I've held on to some of my Solana and Sui is because I didn't want to take a big hit on my taxes because I've already made profit on Solana. I bought Solana back at like 13, 16 bucks in 2022. Right after FTX went bankrupt is when I bought Solana. Okay, I was waiting for FTX to go bank. I was waiting for something bad to happen. When FTX went bankrupt in 2022, that was when I got into started doing my dollar cost averaging in. And that was like a year after Bitcoin topped out at like 69K is when I started buying Bitcoin again. All right, I waited, okay, for about a year, and I think that might happen here in cryptocurrency, where we might not see, some good things in 2026. We might see one of these cryptocurrency exchanges go bankrupt. We might see one of these cryptocurrency exchanges get hijacked, get hacked, and if that happens, when we're already down 70% on these altcoins and Bitcoin's down like 30% already, what do you think that's going to do to Bitcoin if we get one of these cryptocurrency exchanges to get hacked? Or if one of these cryptocurrency exchanges goes bankrupt because no one's trading on these cryptocurrency exchanges anymore. They got to go, maybe they take out a loan and they're able to survive, but then what about the ones that aren't able to take out a loan and they go belly up? All right, there could be some bad things in 2026. I don't want to be too bearish here, but you got to think about it. Like we're hoping for good things to help us go to higher prices here, but like what happens if something bad happens in 2026? What happens if like China invades Taiwan or something like that? What is that going to do to the markets? You got to think about like, we're already beaten down, but could it get worse? And it could. And maybe if it could get worse, maybe we gotta wait for those worst things to happen before we start trying a dollar cost averaging. That's why I'm trying to sell relatively high prices right now, and maybe buy back in after we get some bad things happening. I like to buy when there's blood in the streets, right? But yeah, my Solana, position, what I'll probably most likely end up doing is I won't actually click the sell button on New Year's Eve. All right. What I'll do is I'll probably put a stop loss on Solana at like this last low here at $119.17. I'll probably put my stop loss at 119 bucks, because if we do get a relief rally and we go up to higher prices here to like 145 bucks or $150 on Solana, I actually do want to, sell at higher prices. So maybe I'll just walk my stop loss up, okay? So if we go from like 124 to 135, I'll put the stop loss at 124. And if we go from 135 to like 145, I'll put the stop loss at like 130, okay? As I walk my stop loss. And then, if I hit my targets, maybe I do actually sell Solana at 150 bucks if it gets back up to that price level there. But I'll tell you what, I am not going to like watch the price drop down to like 110, 100 bucks here or lower and not have a stop loss, because I gotta protect myself in case we do continue going down the low prices. But I gotta reset the music because the music actually is done. I gotta go ahead and reset that bad boy there. But yeah, guys, that's gonna be it for this live stream. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as you could, and we'll talk about crypto again tomorrow, probably around the same time, between like 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern time is when I normally go live these days. And we'll just see. You know, I'll let you guys know where I put the stop loss on Solana, because if crypto goes down rather than up in January, I do not want to suffer anymore. And I will have my stop loss on my Solana at 119 bucks. So if Solana goes below that, I'm out. I'm out, right? And then, you know, later on, you know, in 2026, I'll still be trading. I'll still be doing futures, leverage trades, long and shorts. I'll probably be shorting more than longing if we're going into a bear market here, okay? But then maybe later on in 2026, maybe after like this summer, I'll start dollar cost averaging into crypto again. All right, just trying to catch up on the comments here before I end the live stream. River USD kabooming today, wants 14S. Matty Ghost, thank you for that comment there. Oh wow, Road Dog Crypto made it into the chat. I didn't even get a chance to give a shout out. Thank you, Road Dog, for coming in, guys. I have another crypto YouTuber in the chat here. See if I can pull up his channel real quick here. But you know, first let me give out my shout out. Click the subscribe button if you haven't done so already to the Meet Damien channel here. But if you guys want to check out another crypto YouTuber, you gotta check out Road Dog Crypto here. He usually goes live at night with his late night live streams here. He has good music playing in the background, a little bit different than my music, but I love his music just as much as I love the music that I play. And he has some really great thumbnails, if you haven't noticed already. I think he's been trying to keep it a little bit more classy, but yeah, he goes live at night. He does the Fibonacci, the moving average strategy. He doesn't use the VRVP indicator, but that's fine, you know. What I would say to Road Dog, I don't know if Road Dog is still in the live stream, is he's got to be a little bit better at the live chat, because I'll say hi or hello or give out a shout out, whatever, or ask him a question, and it takes him a little bit time for him to get to the live chat. And when I say a little bit of time, like sometimes it takes him like 20-30 minutes to actually respond back to the chat. But you know, that's him. He's got a lot to talk about when it comes to crypto, and he definitely tells you what's on his mind. I'll tell you that. But yeah, Road Dog Crypto, another good crypto YouTuber to check out. And sometimes he does afternoon live streams when he gets a chance as well. Maddie, what is Maddie saying? He says, while others are looking at Solana or Sui, you're booming with the newer coins. Yeah, well, you know, I've been in Sui for about a year, and I've been in Solana for a few years, since 2022. So it's time for me to probably get out of those coins and then see what else might be the next best thing here. And then let's see, just catching up here on the chat here on TikTok before I go. Nasir says, do we have a dead cat rally? I think we might get a dead cat bounce going into January. I'm going to call it a relief rally. I think dead cat's a little bit excessive here. But yeah, we might get a relief rally into January, just the way Bitcoin is looking. And the reason why I say that is because, like, you know, with Bitcoin here, on the 3-day chart here, MACD is showing a crossover to the upside here, which should lead to more green buying pressure candles going into January here. And then market cipher B, you got a green buy dot, momentum's going up, and money flow is going up as well. So I think January we might get a relief rally here for Bitcoin and crypto. Okay, but I think, you know, for those who are trying to get out and thinking that there might be a bear market, January might be your last chance to get out at higher prices before we roll over and go down to lower prices. Because we just don't know, you know, how much lower Bitcoin's going to go down to. If it does go down, and I'll finish up here with Bitcoin. But if Bitcoin starts losing like 82K here, then there's a gap here in the VRVP. We might not get support. We might get a little bit of support at 76K. Then of course 74K because that was a low for 2025 here. But the point of control, you're not going to get a significant amount of support on Bitcoin until Bitcoin comes down to like 67K. That's that blue line right there, point of control. And this is data going all the way back to like January 2024. And if that doesn't hold, then there's, you know, some other levels to look for on the VRVP indicator here. But you got a value area low at 49K, and that's another area where Bitcoin could come down to if we start, you know, going into a vicious bear market here. Okay. But we shall see. We shall see. I still think Bitcoin can climb up and come up to this value area high at 100K. And that would definitely be a better area to try to sell your Bitcoin and crypto. Just in case we do drop down, right? Because we don't know. Like, you can always sell at 100K. And if Bitcoin creeps up to like 110K and then comes back down to 100K, you can buy back in again right where you sold. And it's like there was no damage done. And you can still stay in your position on Bitcoin. But, you know, what if Bitcoin does go up to like 100K, sells off and never goes up to 100K again, and then continues down to like 60K and then 50K? You're going to feel like, you're going to feel really bad for not selling at 100K. Alright, so I think if we do get up to 100K Bitcoin, you should click the sell button. 96K, click the sell button as well. Not financial advice, do whatever you want to do. But if you want to suffer throughout the potential bear market of 2026, then don't sell and just watch it continue to bleed off. I don't want to get too too bearish here, but you know, I think it's very prudent to sell Bitcoin at 100K if we do get up there in January or February, and then you could just play it from there and see what the levels are doing. And you know, you could always buy back in again at 100K if it goes up to like 120 and then goes back down to 100K. You could always buy back in again at 100K right where you sold it at. But I also think it's prudent to sell at 100K just in case it never goes up to 100K again, and that might be the highest price you can get on your Bitcoin. All right. So yeah, guys, that's gonna be it for this live stream here. Be on the lookout for my next live stream, same time tomorrow between 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern time. And good luck trading and investing in whatever asset you get into, guys. Good luck out there. And stay strong. I think we might see a better month in January than we had here in November and December for crypto. But we shall see. We shall see. Take care, guys. See you tomorrow.